To me, right now, the most intriguing storyline in the NFL is what's happening with Phillip Rivers and the San Diego Chargers. All kinds of rumors flying around. Number one, that because Phillip Rivers is going into the final year of his contract, and he has told people he will not move to L.A. if the team moves to L.A., there is talk that the Chargers might trade him. One of the places they might trade him is to Tennessee, Nashville. He grew up near there. And they desperately need a quarterback. There is talk that San Diego is interested in Marcus Mariota and might trade up in the draft to get him, which would make Phillip Rivers expendable. And then there are people who say, why in the world would you move Phillip Rivers? He's your best chance at winning. You win 9, 10 games every year with Phillip Rivers at quarterback. You're not going to do that with a rookie at quarterback, certainly not Mariota, who a lot of people don't think is NFL ready. So why do that?
Trade
the NFL
him.
is about now.
Here's my belief. Trade him. Trade him. San Diego, trade him. And you know who you should trade him to? Denver.
After this year or this year?
Right now. Right now. Trade him to Denver.
Who's going to be the backup?
He would be the backup.
Phillip Rivers traded here to be the backup to Peyton Manning.
And would take over when Peyton left. You send them Brock Osweiler. You send them your first-round draft choice. Wouldn't you like to have Peyton Manning and Phillip Rivers?
That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy.
Think about it.
I am thinking about it. That's crazy.
Why would that be crazy?
Well, because you can get him as a free agent next year. He's a free agent after this year. Peyton's probably going to be done after this year. That's my guess. Your guess too? Last year for Peyton?
No, I'm not sure about
that. No? Okay. Well,
I'm
guessing
it is.
He'll
want to come back. I think if he loses, he'll want to come back.
And if he leaves, Phillip Rivers is available. Phillip Rivers is going to want to win because he hasn't won anything in San Diego. You can get him as a free agent. You know what you have to give up to get Phillip Rivers right now? You'd probably have to give up 2 first-round drafts.
Brock Osweiler and a #1 draft choice. I just told
you might have to give up more than that. It might command a couple of first-rounders.
Get rid of him.
And not only that, they want a high draft pick so they can draft Mariota, we think. They're not going to get that from the Broncos. The Broncos are picking 28th.
Well, I don't have to worry about them. I'm saying if you want to get rid of him, let's look at this my way. All right? If you want to get rid of him, San Diego, if you're just hot to get rid of him, send him to Denver. Then you have him when Peyton decides to leave. But here's what you're missing, because you TV announcer types miss the big story. If you brought him from San Diego to Denver, San Diego wouldn't be any good. I'm looking at it from my standpoint where I sit right here, and I'm not beholden to anybody. I'm not handcuffed by anybody. I can say what I want to. Isn't that right, Post? Thank you. Yeah. The Post has never in my history ever said, you have to write this or you don't have to write this. Really. So I like working under those conditions. Don't you like working here where you can say whatever you want to?
I've spent my whole career working at an unaffiliated broadcast outlet.
That's the whole point. Yeah. The issue is that's not going to happen, but why? Why are they so eager to get rid of it?
I don't know.
Their best chance of doing anything. Mike McCoy, I think, has done a great job with them. And again, I mentioned, and we're here every day, so things are going to come up again. He was in the conversation for most valuable player with Peyton Manning halfway through last season, and then he hurt his back. He had a back injury the last half of the season. He didn't have a team that protected him well, like Manning also didn't. They both had offensive line problems. They went out, let's see, did they get anybody? Orlando Franklin? They got Orlando Franklin. They're trying to beef up their offensive line.
Here's one of the ironic parts about that whole scenario. Well, here's the thing. Who was the offensive coordinator here when Tim Tebow was the quarterback?
Mike McCoy.
That's right, Mike McCoy. And Mike McCoy did not want to do what they had to do to make Tim Tebow effective because he didn't think it would work in the NFL. So now Mike McCoy, as the head coach of the Chargers, is going to bring in a spread offense quarterback, Mariota. He'd have to do the same thing he did with Tim Tebow, at least at the beginning, for Mariota to be effective. Mike McCoy doesn't want Mariota there.
He knows how to do it, though, I would say that.
Yeah, but
he did it under...
He knows eventually the guy needs to know how to learn how to throw from the pocket.
That's all rubbish, isn't it? It's just rubbish. They're not going to get rid of Phillip Rivers. when Philip Rivers leaves San Diego, it will be him leaving San Diego. And he will choose where he wants to go. And guess what? They also owe him. You know, it's the thing with Peyton Manning. You owe a guy. I think you owe a guy. Peyton Manning wants to come back. You owe him that. He chose Denver of all the teams in the league.
Yeah.
You owe him that. Philip Rivers has stayed there. He's been a loyal trooper. He has gotten them in the playoffs. He hadn't won a Super Bowl, but he has been one of the top 10 quarterbacks in the league. You don't be trading him for... That's why I brought that up earlier. How many of those spread quarterbacks have worked? Well, if you want to say Cam Newton to me, okay, I can go with that, but Cam Newton is a great athlete. RG3 didn't work out. The guy in Buffalo...
E.J. Manuel?
Yeah, he was an early version of Winston, wasn't he? And Geno Smith didn't work out. Jamarcus Russell didn't work out. I'll go with you. Tim Tebow didn't work out. How many of those guys are working out? That doesn't work. RG3, it's not working
That's
out.
why I like your idea. I think Mariota belongs in Philly, where Chip Kelly will know what to do with him.
Yeah, and I don't think Rich really got what I was saying is, let's just all get together and say, here's the right thing to do. The NFL, all the teams, no, they can't go from 20th up to 3rd. They might figure out how to do it, but just everybody say, you know, this would be good for the game. Let's find out, Chip. Here's your boy. Let's see what you can do with him now. And guess what? We'd find out.